Cloudera Private Cloud Base allows organizations to unlock that other 50% of their data that may be underutilized, turn it into trusted data, and use that data to drive insight, value, and deliver enterprise AI at scale. With Iceberg Everywhere, we can guarantee the exact same experience in all form factors so you can build once and run anywhere. This allows you to run workloads where it's most optimal from a security, cost, or performance perspective. Cloudera Open Data Lakehouse for Base includes Apache Iceberg tables fully integrated, Iceberg concurrent access and processing with all compute engines, the Iceberg catalog, replication and maintenance, embracing fast-moving data with integration for streams processing in Flink, and it's fully compatible with Ozone. The best part is that you can easily start using your Iceberg table format to store your data without making any structural changes to your data. One of the features included with the Open Data Lakehouse for Private Cloud is Replication Manager. The Iceberg Replication service enables customers to replicate table-level data between Iceberg tables in the private cloud. This demo is for Iceberg v2 tables created using Spark running on HDFS storage. Here is my cluster for Iceberg Replication. Cloudera Manager shows up with the green icon. Notice that the Iceberg Replication service has already been installed. This is the target cluster, and note there is no Iceberg Replication service installed. Let's add the Iceberg Replication service. Installation of this service is a one-time operation for any cluster. Iceberg Replication service has one role, the admin server. This is informing me of the node that was picked from my cluster to be the admin server. We need a directory for doing staging, so it's named User Iceberg Replication, and here's the port for this admin server. The replication service then performs some first-time steps and creates directories which didn't exist. The first part of the replication process from the target cluster is to create a peer, or connection to the source cluster. Now we will create an Iceberg replication policy, we give it a name, then choose the source and target clusters from a pull-down menu. The default is to run immediately, but this can be changed to whatever schedule you like, such as daily, weekly, hourly, etc. There are then two types of table filters, inclusion and exclusion. I have chosen to replicate all Iceberg tables starting with the word demo and the database name default in the source cluster. Another part of the replication process is to be able to control your resource uses with a yarn queue, copy mappers, or bandwidth. Once I click Save, the replication starts immediately. I have sped this up a bit, but what is happening is that there's handshaking between the source and the target cluster, which includes getting the table names and looking at all the checkpoints since the last replication. Since we added a wildcard for the source tables, the service needs to evaluate the filters. Then the export starts, which means finding the metadata and data files from the source to make a list of what to copy. The data files get copied directly into the target directory, but the metadata goes to the staging area we saw earlier. The reason this happens is that the metadata needs to be transformed to reflect the new paths. Looking at the replication history, we see that the policy worked on two tables, 55 files were copied, none were deleted. Notice that the replication engine had to do 121 path transformations in the metadata files that were copied.